Alright, boys, we are back, and it's time to head into year 6 with our Washington Capitals. This might just be our last year. We're going to figure that out at the end of the year, but this might be our last year, so I really want to have a good year, alright? We've managed to have good regular seasons with the Washington Capitals, but last 2 years, getting kicked out in that first round, it kind of erases that Stanley Cup win from 3 years ago now, right? So this last year, year 6, if it is our last year, I want to go out with a bang. So not necessarily the President's Trophy. I mean, I'd like to win it, yeah, but I want at least a third round appearance this year. I want at least a good playoff run. We've put together a pretty good team here. Now, in the last video, we ended in free agency. I just simulated up a little bit here just so we could start the year 6 simulation. I didn't want to just be simulating through the rest of the free agency days, but we got all the players that I wanted to get. I've already somewhat edited the lines, but I'll go through it right now. So our first line, hang on, do I have everybody? Yeah, I got everyone I needed, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. So the first line we know is going to be Alexander Ovechkin, Nicholas Backstrom, and Josh Morrissey, all right? These guys were all point-of-game players for us last year. I want to see if they can replicate what they did last year. And Josh Morrissey, hopefully, he's a little bit better maybe. Hopefully he can get some more points, which would be awesome. The second line, we're going to have Mathieu Lalonde in there, Tyler Ennis, which is the replacement for Louis Eriksson. And our center, you guys were saying that I should put Mike Ribeiro in there, not Scheifele. I'm trying to win the cup this year. Scheifele's just not ready. So what I've done is I put Scheifele down in the minors for 1 year just because there's really no room for him. And, in his stats, I think we can be a really good team this year. So why handicap us by putting a young player out there? I put him down in the AHL, but that doesn't mean that we can't bring him up if things aren't going our way. But Ribeiro, you guys were saying that we got to bring Ribeiro back, so we brought him back, and we're going to give him 1 more year, see what he can do with 2 snipers on his wing now, with Lalonde and Ennis. It was Louis Eriksson last year, but Tyler Ennis' shooting category is a lot better than Louis Eriksson. Louis Eriksson had like 87, 88, 87, 88, maybe more 88s than 87s, I can't remember. But Tyler Ennis is a 5-star shooting category, 91, 90, 90, 92. So I'm expecting, 30 goals out of Ennis, 30 goals out of Lalonde. Hopefully Ribeiro gets back to his, 50, 60 assist season. That'd be nice. Third line now, I know you guys were saying that Hartikainen should come up to the second line, but I want Ennis and Lalonde on the wings, and I don't really want to put him in the center just yet. I mean, he can come up for maybe next year, but I want to see what Ribeiro does in the middle, just because Ribeiro's passing and offensive awareness was a lot better. Hartikainen, yeah, his individual stats are good, but his wrist shot accuracy is only 76. I know he's got a great slap shot, but that will hurt it a little bit. His passing is great, yes, but his offensive awareness is only at 83. That's got to get a little bit better still. So I want to have this guy in the third line and killing off penalties, all right? That's why we got him. But the third line now can get a little bit of goals as well. I hope they can get maybe 25 points or more, each one of these guys. All right, I think they can do it. Carlson is ready for that third line, and now Dustin Brown fills it out. He's not like spectacular offensively. He's not spectacular defensively. All right, but he's got a great body checking, and he's pretty solid everywhere. 84s everywhere basically. So a perfect third liner for us, right? So that's actually a pretty filthy third line, and then the fourth line are just two-ways and grinders, right? Guys who can play good defensive hockey. Tyler Kennedy, Jay McClement. Sorry, John McClement. Jay McClement. All right, look at that defensive category, 4.5 stars. Kennedy, I think, is only at 3.5, all right. And then Jared Stoll, I think he's 4.5 as well. No, he's only 3.5, right. I think I should have Stoll in the middle to take the face-offs. Yeah, I should. All right, so Stoll in the middle to take the face-offs. There you go. All right, so there's our lines. Again, we can make some changes. That's why I wanted to get the simulation started nice and quick. We'll get like maybe 2 or 3 months done. All right, depending on how quick we can get going here. Defense, we're going to leave it the same as last year. Jake Gardner with Johnson, Alzner with Carlson, and Stewart and Grossman are going in there now, all right? Power play, it's going to be the same as last year. Josh Morrissey with Backstrom, Ovechkin, Gardner, and Eric Johnson, okay? And Carlson and Alzner, yep. Well, I can maybe put Hartikainen, well... No. Hang on. What's the defensive awareness, offensive awareness for Alzner and Carlson? 84. You know what? I can replace. Yeah, I can do this for you guys. Alzner come off the power play, and Hartikainen can go on the power play for you guys, all right? Because he's got similar offensive awareness and defensive category. He covers Alzner anyway, so we'll put Hartikainen in there, all right? And he's got a hell of a slap shot, so I'll put him on the point. So Ovechkin, Backstrom, Morrissey, Gardner, Johnson, Lalonde, Ribeiro, and not Dustin Brown. I'm going to put Tyler Ennis in there. Whoop, my bad. Tyler Ennis, and then Carlson and Hartikainen, all right? Yeah, that looks good. Same thing for down here. Backstrom and Ovechkin. Yeah, that's fine. And Lalonde and Ennis. I want Lalonde and Ennis. Yeah, we'll actually put Josh Morrissey on the points for the four-man power play with Gardner, Carlson, and Erik Johnson. Yeah, because Erik Johnson's better than Hartikainen. Yeah. Erik Johnson would be better. Well, you know what? No. We'll put Hartikainen in there. All right, there you go. He's on the point. Penalty kill, Carlson, Backstrom, Hartikainen, and Jay McClement. Yep, I'd imagine those are our four best defensive forwards. Alzner, Morrissey, Gardner, Carlson. I'll come back in for that on the penalty kill. Hang on, because I got to check that out. 4-on-4 lines we don't have to touch. Extra attacker, Ovechkin and Backstrom. And then Klein is going to get a lot of starts this year. All right? We've already done the AHL lines as well. I did that quickly before we did this. All right? So we don't have to worry about that. So hang on one second. Let me just go to my GM tracker and truly figure out who our best forwards were. Just to be sure. I don't know about Jay McClement. If they're putting him in there, then maybe. But let me just make sure, okay? Where is it? Makeup, top defensive players. So Carlson, Hartikainen, Backstrom, and Lalonde. All right, so it shouldn't be Jay McClement. It should be Lalonde in there. Yeah, and then Alzner, Gardner, Carlson, and Johnson, not Morrissey. So Lalonde and Morrissey. All right, so Lalonde needs to go in and Morrissey needs to come out. Yes. I saw it. I don't know why they put that in there, but let me just take that out. Because last year we actually went by that best defensive players on the penalty kill, and we turned it around quite nicely, so let's stick with that. Carlson, Backstrom, not McClement, it was Lalonde. Yep. And I'll split these two guys up. There you go, Hartikainen and Backstrom and Lalonde. And Morrissey, no, we're going to go with Johnson needs to be in there. Yeah, Erik Johnson with Gardner and Carlson with Alzner. Erik Johnson with Gardner. There you go. And Carlson with Backstrom. Yeah, they're our two best. Perfect. All right, so there's our lineups for the year. Again, we don't mind changing them if I have to. Scheifele's on the first line in the AHL, so we'll see what he does for 1 year because we have him at a very cheap contract anyways. There's no room for him on our team. I don't want to leave him on the third or fourth line. Let's leave him down in the minors, see what he can do for us in 1 year, okay? I think that's everything. Let me just make sure I turn injuries back off. That's one thing I got to remember. Injuries. There you go. They are back off. Now, I know you guys want to see the other teams. All right. Yeah, we'll just quickly check it out. I'm going to fly through them, though, because I do want to get some simulation done. We'll only look out for the younger players, all right? So hang on a sec. GM options, contracts. All right, so let's see. Yep. Winnipeg, any young guns? Evander Kane is 87 overall now. Bogosian is 86, not too bad. Anaheim, older players. Yeah, Fowler is 87, okay. Boston, Dougie Hamilton, 86. Tyler Seguin, 89. Thank you, Toronto. Buffalo, they lost Tyler Ennis now, but Tyler Myers is still 87 overall. That's a decent player. Barchese, 86. All right, that guy's a stud. Carolina, and no young guns. Well, Falk, 83. Looking for, like, the really young guns who may have got drafted here. No one on Chicago. Like, 24 or younger. Landeskog is 86. That's pretty good. They got a young team there in Colorado. Phil the Thrill is 89. He's still only 29 years old. Ryan Murray's 86 at 23. And this guy, David Savard, 26. They got a young team there in Columbus still. Dallas, all 30-year-olds. Detroit, 30-year-olds. Jesus, Detroit's old. What else is new? Edmonton. They're kind of old there in Edmonton now. Oh, that's why I'm searching age. God damn, hang on. Let me go back a few. Landeskog, Columbus. There you go, Dallas. They got Jamie Benn. That's why. Detroit, yeah, they're still old. Edmonton, yep. How good is, what's his name, Shinkaruk now? Did they trade Shinkaruk? No. He's 75. So he's still not ready to go with the likes of Henrik Sedin, all right? But, yeah, Edmonton, they got to win it now, man. They had a good playoff run last year. I think they got, kicked out in the finals or the semifinals? Can't remember. They had a good regular season, though. LA, all right. Minnesota, yeah, they're kind of getting old now. Montreal, They're kind of getting old. Nashville, no young players there. New Jersey, Ryan Pulock, 22 years old, 88, and Adam Larson, two stud defensemen. The Islanders, yeah, where's what's his name? They must have traded John Tavares, or maybe he's down in the system. I don't know why he's in the system. I'm probably missing out on some players when I go in the system. Yeah, I should do it when the regular season starts. Yeah, all right. I'll figure that out for next time. Yeah, we're good to go, I think. Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. So let's start the simulation here. We'll just get through the preseason. Now, when it comes to our goaltending situation, remember it was last year that what was his name? You know what? Let me just edit my trading block. Yeah, I'll do that right now. Decline that trade. They want Lalonde back for Brizgalov. Philadelphia's pissed off. They made that deal. I told you that was a good deal, man. I want to see what Lalonde can do this year. Remember, he started off like on fire. He was on pace for like 40 goals. Then he only ended up with like 34, 35, which is great. I'm not angry about that. But this guy can definitely be a 40-goal scorer. So let me just go to trading block here. Make sure that it doesn't slow down the simulation at all. I don't need any of this stuff. All right. Off, 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 off. Delete all that. Delete all that. Why does the friggin' assistant coach want me giving up Hart to Kanan? That guy's a part of our third line, man. I need that guy back there. All right. So what was I talking about when it comes to goalies? Yeah. Last year, Norbert Klein was the man. I mean, Braden Holtby, we still had him at that time. We started off the season kind of dull, but Norbert Klein was in there, and he basically kept us afloat. Then we made some line changes, and he kept on going. He had one of the best seasons I've seen. He had a lot of games played, and his goals against average was like below 1.75, I think. It might have been 1.6 or something. It was something crazy. So he definitely made himself the number one. So I'm not going to be going on a 2-to-1 ratio or even a 3-to-1 ratio with Dansk, all right? Norbert Klein is our number one, so I'm just going to run with Norbert Klein, and unless he goes on like a 3 or 4 game losing streak, I'm going to leave him in there, all right? I still do believe that the rest does help, so again, if he starts to lose some games, or if we just can't get going, then I'm going to stop the simulation, but let's go all the way up to the trade deadline. Let's see how far we can get. I'll stop it after every month just to check out the individual stats of the team, all right? But for the most part, we know who our number one starter is right now. It's Norbert Klein. So that Oscar Dansk guy is just going to be to come in if we, again, if we keep on winning one, losing one, winning one, losing one, I'll send him in there for a game. Or if we lose like 3 or 4 games in a row, I'll send him in there. And there you go. We lost another one. Come on now. Come on, Norbert Klein, and come on, Washington Capitals. I don't care about that President's Trophy as much. I just want to get into the playoffs. But this is the year we got to turn it around. All right, there's a win. This is definitely the year we got to turn it around. All right. Had a lot of iffy seasons here in Washington. We did end up winning that Stanley Cup, but this wasn't the typical rebuild, you know what I mean? I mean, if I could have been able to trade guys like Backstrom and Ovechkin, then yeah, it would have been a little bit different. But the challenge was to keep those players on your team and to build a Stanley Cup contender around them. So that's why we've had an up and down team here, you know, with players in and out like Datsuk, Stastny, and Eriksson haven't really found a home here. But that was the whole thing. But I think that we, as a young team going forward, we do have pieces in place. Norbert Klein, obviously the goalie going forward. Backstrom and Ovechkin still have at least 4 or 5 years in them, so you don't have to worry about that. And then behind Mathieu Lalonde and Josh Morrissey going forward, those two guys. I think eventually those two guys play in the same line together, and hopefully you see crazy stuff out of them. All right. So there you go. After the first month, let me stop the simulation here. 9. Are we going to win another one? 9, 5, and 1. All right. I could give Norbert Klein a rest, but he's playing fine. Don't worry about that. Josh Morrissey is leading our team, 6 goals. Yeah, what else is new? I'm not going to go crazy just yet. We sit in 5th place in the Eastern Conference, so we're fine. Don't worry about it. We're fine right now. Let's take a look at the stats, see what may need improvement. All right, if we need a line change here or there. Goals for per game. All right, we're 25th in the NHL. So for the team that we have, we're just not scoring goals right now. So we can change that around. Don't worry about that. Goals against per game, we are 8th. So again, it's our great goaltending and great defense right now that's winning us games. We're 25th for goals for, and we still have a winning record. So we're doing something right. Power play percentage, 22nd. So maybe it's our power play. Penalty kill percentage, 4th in the NHL. So our penalty kill, goals against, and defense is fine for right now. Home record 3-3, away record 6-2-1. The last 3 though were the last 10, sorry, were 7-3. So I'm not going to go crazy just yet. I'm not going to make any line changes. What we will do is, you know what? Let's run with them.